What's going on, guys? Alexander Thomas here. Welcome back to Game Time 123. Today is the intro for the new MTG Tournament season. We're going to build all 16 decks that are going to be in the tournament this season. Now, I've already got I've got a wheel already set up here. Let's see, let me look at that thing here. And the wheel's also got the wheel has, I think it is 50 different possibilities. Let me see if I can get that right here. How many possibilities do we have here? You got 73 possibilities. Now, only 16 of these are going to go into the tournament. The way it's going to work is, let's see if I can get is that these are all the possible names. Every single one is possible. The way this works is I build the deck on Magic Arena, and that deck goes into the tournament. There will be 5 weeks, just like it is. And that is how it's going to work for it. Now, the decks are going to be put into the tournament. I will decide whether they're going to go into the Division 1 or Division 2 based on the colors and all that for it. But it's got to be decided on one of these. And I've already gone through Magic Arena and based all the possible things I can actually do things with it. So, in a season, there'll be some games, playoffs there'll be some games, and this would be how. Now this will be the intro symbol for each one. Give me some hard times there, so I'm going to want to leave my thing off here, my webcam off. Give me a hard time. So these are going to be the decks, all possible. I'll put the list of all the decks possible below, and then the 16 decks that are being done. Later. I'm gonna write the down first, so we're not gonna. I'm gonna go ahead and do with the 16 decks first. And let me see if I can find a. There are one there. Our first wheel spin for the first deck that will be in the tournament. We bear type. I'm just gonna write down the things. We'll work on those things later. On the second spin, technically the same thing again. Octopus. We're gonna put octopus in there. Demon will be one of our types. And I'm not necessarily assuming what colors are going to be because it could be any colors. Nightmare. That is probably going to be a tough one. I'm building decks after it too. I'll call the wheel side after this. We got Drake. I don't know that's actually possible. We'll put that there, but that might be it. I'm going to go ahead and do 18 of them in case one of these doesn't work out. Detective. Number 7. Fox. These are all going to be types I put in there. 8. Okay, well we'll call it. That's a lot. I have to fish, jellyfish, Krakens. That's probably going to be the most difficult deck to build because of the context that the way that I'll show you how the deck's going to work in a few minutes here, but the way it's going to work is that 10, 11, 12. Every deck's going to have 4 cards that are insured into the deck. 17, 18, I guess we need that. Every deck's going to have a specific way it's going to be written. I've already got one of them written out in case that one does show up. Crab. I don't know how we're going to do that one. Okay. Wall. We're going to have a wall deck. And again, I don't know how these are going to work out quite yet, but we'll see. Mercenary, I don't even know. Okay, I really don't know how that one's gonna work. There are cards that do mercenaries, but I had to go through this before and realize that there has to be like at least 8 possibilities for creatures. Avatar, I only got, I don't know. I'll put 19 and 20 just in case. How are we gonna do an avatar deck? That's for that might not be too hard in with new set coming out, but monk. In case one of these doesn't come out and work. And the way this works is I can use only cards of that type, or cards that work with that. Remember, I can use any spells, instants, sorceries, anything like that. Artifactor. Okay. Knight. So those are the 16 cards, that 16 games that will go in there. I'm going to do a few more just in case that some don't work out. Because I did merge some of these. Elder. It's like dragons? Is that what that is? I don't know. Orcan. I don't know what colors these decks are going to be, but goodness. Oh, we got Dejin. I think it's how it's pronounced. I have no idea. It's the last one that could potentially be here. Oh, antelope / elk. That I put those together because you couldn't do them alone. All right, going to close that part down. Keep my ready to battle for. All right, so those are the types. Now I gotta build decks using these creature types, and these are going to be the intro view. I'm not going to put any of the wait. I'm going to try to redo my camera here. Okay. Alright, so now I gotta go through these decks in the order that they're done yet. I will decide where everything goes and what divisions they're going to based on the colors. It'll probably be 2 basic colors. And I do have enough decks set aside so I can do it. We will start off making a bears deck. Now the first thing is I do have to put one thing here, is that every deck's going to have one thing that's the same. I see I made Wells deck. Well, okay, let me save these because they're not. Part of this anymore. Deck number 1, we will start off, and it has to have one major thing. The first thing is I'm going to try to make all these, I'm going to have to make all these historic because of the cards I'm putting in there. The first thing is that every deck's going to have Helm of Hosts in it. It's only going to have one copy of it, but it's going to have one copy of Helm the Host. I might have to restart Magic Arena here. Alright, I'm gonna put it in host. And there's another card I gotta put in here. It adds one. I don't know what it's called. It's called a patchwork. 4 copies of that are going to go in here. And then we are going to look at bears. Because that's the first one. And I'm going to guess it doesn't need to be color because it's not. The idea here is that it's going to be the bears. It doesn't have to be commander or anything like that. What is the best option? So in order to get bears, creature spell costs 4 greater cost units. I think that makes sense for it to be a kind of a card that costs 2 less to cast. But I think the main creature is going to have to be Drone card. We're going to go use 2 of them. Don't really know. Oh, it's out there. I put Limmer in there. It goes to equal to the number equal to the number of land you control. Put him in. Got 2 less. That's nice. Okay, 2 bear tokens. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's I'm gonna call it Bear Trample. It's gonna be green. Bear Cub. Put the 2 little bear cubs in here. I can use any cards that are bear based. Or creature based anyways. Let's see. Each player gets Architect gets named and destroy all of them. Not really going to be helpful here. It's got to be green. gotta be something relevant. And I can use any cards in Magic's history. Well, that are legal and historic. I think we're gonna put some giant growths in there. That makes sense for me, I think, in this case. I think counters. How much do we have ways to gain counters on these? Our trample doesn't really do much in that, I think. But this gives me, let's say, search library for a creature card, and then, yeah, I don't think it works. We do need something to reach, because if we don't have that, it kinda doesn't work. I think we put a couple of these here. I don't think we can put more than that, though. Need some reach, and they don't have to all be bears. It just, or they don't, all creatures in this deck do not have to be bears. I think there's these in here. Stony Strength sounds like a good option. We will put that in there. That search level for a creature card, which will probably end up being Lamara. I think 3 costs this makes sense. And these, let's see, we got 24 forest. We're going to need to change some forest here. Beast, we are not using it necessarily, so it makes more sense. Let's get some things to destroy. Either artifact, battle, or... Yes. This thing is just an end, and that is the end of the deck. We're not allowed to put anything after that, so that is Bear Trample. That's the first deck. I don't know where everything's going to go right now, so I'm just going to put down it is green. We do want to know what the CMC is, but I'll write that in later. The next deck, I'm going to knock this one out. Next one we got is Octopus. I don't know how you're gonna do that, because first off, I know it's historic. Those are the only things that are going in here for sure. Now, I think octopus are generally blue and some other color. Let's see. They did put some new octopuses in this most recent set to make it a 0-8 commander deck. Let's see here. I feel like this is going to have to be... There's not a lot, honestly. I mean, octopus is not be easy. I think it's going to be a white-green deck. we have 3 of them. So, yes, that. I think it's got to be octopuses unblocked. This will return stuff to each creature that isn't one of those, and return. This is, then I can create an octopus. There's deal with damage. I think we get a card here. Let's see. We put our. I don't think there's any octopuses that are green. 0-8 legendary octopus. I don't really know where to do that. Yeah, there's literally not any octopuses. Whenever you cast one of those things, cards for X spell zero value, then you press cast spell for X energy without paying any cost. Well, we definitely put that in there. There's not really a lot here. There was enters for one that can't be blocked, so there's some more cards in your graveyard. That's actually not bad. We'll call this. I think we'll call this. I think it calls octopus unblocked, and we see here that'd be nice, but that's really late. Because it's if the is paid, create an octopus. Wait, what? Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands. If a surge follows kick, why would that make any? It doesn't make any sense. Create a 8/8 octopus. So I pay a search card. It doesn't matter what the card's versions are. We're gonna say unblock. Plus 1 to 0. Put these in here. It's gonna be more of a blue deck, I think. I think we do have some returns. The horror was not one of the things in there, but we need something to story. I think put these in here as well. That's one to me. That is going to be our first base deck. I'm allowed to change the lands of it. As well. Also, there are no block lands. Put these two lands in there. We can remove 2 of each of those. Because those are tapped. That's 60 cards. Alright, we got our Demons deck. That's next. This one's going to be called Demon... I would say Demon Sacrifice. I'm not going to go with Demons. This is going to be a red-black deck. I think we would have to do it. It's Demon. I think it makes sense. Demon Wall. Put 2 counters on this creature. That's actually ridiculous. I think Demon Sacrifice makes the most sense to draw for a Demon card. Put in your hand, you get 4 more cards, then you put it into the bat weight. Or you can do any card instead, that's fine with those in there. This says, Artifact creature Demon Walls. No, it's 6 mana. I think it makes sense to put those in there. It is a defender for 2 counters on this creature. And as long as it has a counter on it, it can attack. So it's basically a feature of miss. Let's see here. That's a good one if you put the bright ones in here. Choose one that hasn't been chosen. Yeah, no. I mean, sacrificing a creature for 4 mana, that's not that bad. We have to sacrifice stuff anyways to get this thing to work. You lose life. At the beginning of your end step, you lose life equal to your toughness. That's not really helpful. Here it is, you get 5-hour demon, and you lose 2 life at the beginning. We could use this one here. Sacrifice or pay 1, sacrifice a creature, target player misses 3 cards. We get that. That gets that player sacrifices a creature. This is a new Elder Demon. Demons have menace, lifelink, and haste. Yeah, there's no chance we don't put that in there. I don't think anyone's exactly lose 1 life. I just don't think that's happening. There's no red demons. There's not really any though, so that's gonna be a... Let's see. Sacrifice this creature, stay 2 minutes, you get forward. Vampire Demon doesn't have any abilities. However, it's a 5 for 2 that doesn't make any sense. That's a good one. We got. I'll put 2 of those in those here. I'll put the inflict one as well. Whatever you guys Each player loses half their life, rounded up, and the power is equal to the highest life total any player. Flying. This guy does become one. If you can comment, sacrifice. You can sacrifice a creature of choice. If the player does, an opponent may sacrifice a creature of choice. You put on creatures. That's a good one. There's some other cards though. Let me see here. That's a nice one. Unfortunately, we don't have enough commons to deal with that. We want to sacrifice, so yes, that makes sense. And making him lose life is nice, but not great. Making an avatar deck, my goodness, that's gonna be tough. And we're going to put the remaining of these cards in here. Sacrifice I do get a red basis of this, but that's fine. I'm going to confirm that I've done these. And who knows, these heavy decks are actually going to be any good. We'll see. We're on Nightmares, the next one. Oh my goodness. That is gonna be tough. Okay. Nightmares I think are black. So let's try it. We got night. I don't know even how you can do a nightmare. Oh, there's dogs. I guess we're gonna make it Nightmare. I'm gonna call it Nightmare Pain. I don't know what that's gonna work. Nightmare Wall. That's non-nightmare. Let's see. We could use a planeswalker. We can use planeswalkers. And it enters each from this one. Yes, that makes sense. Again, the other side gets it. This thing gets two types of its counters. These are good. I love these things. If player controls no dance, it's a Nightmare Horse, and it's gonna be a black deck, that's for sure. We're gonna put two of these. We're not gonna put a lot there. Cat Nightmare is nice, but don't think it's gonna really help us much in this deck. So put some of these things here which can be invoked. Nightmare Elf. These things are cool. They're real cute little things. Let's see. What else could you do? An enchantment, spin the giver expose with my. That doesn't really give me much. There are some though that do that though. We can put a couple of these in there and put those in here. There's a few though. There's not really a lot. I do have to eliminate some. And I think these are the ones we're gonna get rid of. Nightmare Ping. Next one's is Drake, and I don't even know if it's even physically possible. I'm gonna check this one over here, just to make sure that. Oh, I'm missing one. And that. Get rid of Alright, we'll use there we go. I said it corrected. So next one's Drake. I don't know how many Drakes there are actually. I think honestly, it's probably gonna be a blue, right? So there are actually not very many. We're gonna have to use instant sorcery based here, historic. I'm gonna call it Drake. Drake Flying, I don't know what that means. Spells cost one less, that's really helpful here. We can make other creatures flying. Oh, let me put the... I think we need to put. Oh, we gotta put the Helm of Host in here, and the banner. Okay, so it's gonna be blue-red. We got that. I think it's gotta be spell-based, because it says this creature enters and investigates. When you sacrifice an artifact, there's not gonna be a lot of artifacts sacrificed here, but this one says instant sorcery, so I think we gotta look for blue, red, instant and sorceries, and we need a color. And it says it's equal to the number of instant sorceries in your graveyard. I'll put these here. Put some additional counterspells here. We can give creatures hexproof, that's nice. They already have flying, so it won't make a difference. Give creatures block. Oh, we have too much there. And we will go ahead and lands are those colors. We do have a few artifacts, but not a ton. This is a new card I got recently in the from the previous set. It's gonna be mostly how many artifacts do we have? We have artifacts. We got a total of 7 artifacts, not a whole lot. And it's not, it gets plus 12 for each artifact control. I don't know that really does much here though. Do we just put that in there? We have a possibility of getting up to 7, which you can get up to 7 mana, but honestly, I think that's going to be difficult to deal with. So, we're going to put those in there, and this. Oh, no, not 3 of them, just 2. And yeah, we got that deck done. Detectives are next. And detectives are generally red-white. And I think these are generally like upgrades. So we got to go with it being called I'm gonna call it Detective's Eye. The Detective Eye. And these will be put these in here. That makes sense. Card probably has more cards in hand. Let's see. If you control 3 or more defectives, then you get to create a token that says when it's here. So we get to do these, and we'll put those in here. And I think put these in here as well, because that gives an extra tokens. This goes up here. We have 16 creatures. We're a little bit low, I think. We need some flying. This creature or another text enters, and you draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Put those here, put that one in here. I don't think this is going to do much. Let's see. We'll put these in here because that makes sense. I can't. Oh, I can collect 10. That doesn't do anything. Magnifying glass or thinking cap. I don't know what that one does. I'll put these two in here. We'll call it that. Done. Next one's Fox. I was taking it a little bit longer than I thought. I did start a little bit, had a little bit of trouble at the beginning here, but Fox is this. Dork, I think is definitely going to be Fox enchantments. Or Fox enchant. Because this Fox has double strike. Be cycling. These all go here. Unlock spells cost 1 less. We get Fox. I think it's definitely a blue-white deck. We craft if we need to. Let me take a look at some rooms off of that. That's good. Untap everything, that makes sense. It's gonna be more of a majority white deck. It doesn't have everything doesn't have to be it, but it does make sense in some cases. Copies it. I mean, let's see. If we have 8 or more, we could do that. Rooms and dungeons will trigger additional time. That does not do anything. That permits a hexproof. That's 1 card. That's a rare. We'll put this one here. Back to Foxes. Whenever a Summer Warrior attacks against lifelink and attacks their creature to keep it indestructible. Fox Warrior has flying. We do need some things of flying, so that makes sense. We'll put Fox Viger, Achievements. Yeah, that's a nice card, but again, the wrong colors. I I don't normally like to put new cards in here, but does actually do well, works well in this deck here. And now everything's, I guess nothing else has to be foxes, it doesn't need to be. It has lightning and indestructible launch control 3 or more other enchantments, which includes this one, so that's not bad. Let's put some tap things in here. Tap some creatures down. We can restore tap creatures, that gives us help. That's a good card, does good. That works here. Legendary permanents. No. We'll put these in here, they don't do much for it. We can put those in here, we have too many cards, so... That card's no longer in here. We need one more card gone. I'll take one of these out. No, I don't want to remove the craft out. Move Fairy Dread. And that's our Fox Enchant deck. Next one is Fish, Jellyfish, Kraken, and Leviathan. Oh. Okay, so we're already at an hour. Only on 8 decks. So I'm gonna do this last deck here, and I'm gonna call it. I'll redo all this other. I'll do a video where I upload all of these some other time. So Fish is the first one, or Jellyfish. We'll call this Fishy. I think we will end up doing casting multiple spells. Because that makes no sense to me. Pure life Fish. I think that does make sense. Heirs of 9 stone counters. You draw a card. We're landers, put stone counter something. Yeah. We'll put these in here, that doesn't really matter. This is Kraken, we'll return something. I think it's an expensive deck. Leviathan. spells in here. Let's do some returns. Not made to me. Remove the worms. Remove the lizard cast. And move all those. That is our fishy deck. I will do all the other ones, but I'm going to do them not online here because I will do these in another video, but I'm not going to do them here. That is the end of this stream. That is all we're going to do for today. We did 8 decks. We've got 8 more to go. I will see you guys in the next video. And these, I will say this, these are not going to be live. The decks, when I do play these games, they're not going to be live. That's all I want to let you know. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to keep your game on.